In the stillness of an Armenian night, the city of Yerevan lay slumbering, its shadows cloaking the secrets harbored within. Amidst this tranquil tableau, a clandestine rendezvous was about to unfold. In the hush that fell upon the cobblestone streets, a solitary figure moved with purpose, his eyes glinting in the dim glow of a distant lamplight. This enigmatic figure, known only as the Whisper, was the city's own secret, a whisperer of whispers, an informant who trafficked in the currency of secrets. As he navigated the labyrinthine streets, the Whisper felt the weight of his burden, the knowledge that rested heavy upon his shoulders. He had been watching, waiting, gathering information, and now it was time to reveal his hand. His destination was a secluded park on the outskirts of Yerevan, a place where the city's shadows seemed to deepen, where secrets could be shared in whispers. Simultaneously, another figure moved through the night. Nikolai Kalachyan, a man driven by ambition and cunning, was on his way to meet the Whisper. His heart pounded with anticipation, each step propelling him closer to the information that would set the wheels of his plan in motion. He knew the risks, the stakes were high, but the lure of wealth and power proved too strong to resist. As they met under the watchful gaze of ancient statues, the Whisper began to speak. His voice was a soft rustle, a whisper carried on the wind, imparting knowledge that could alter the course of Yerevan's destiny. He shared details about the security measures at the state bank, intricate plans and strategies that Nikolai absorbed with rapt attention. The atmosphere grew tense as secrets were exchanged. The Whisper's words were akin to a poison, infecting Nikolai with a newfound sense of determination. He thanked the Whisper, his voice barely audible above the rustling leaves, and then disappeared into the night, the city's shadows swallowing him whole. As the moon cast its silvery glow over Yerevan, the city seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the storm that was brewing. Little did it know, the greatest heist in its history was about to unfold, and the lives of its citizens would forever be altered by this clandestine meeting beneath the stars. In the hush of midnight's embrace, a figure emerges from the shadows, slipping unnoticed into the towering edifice that housed Yerevan's lifeblood, the state bank. The man was Felix Kalachyan, brother to the mastermind of this clandestine operation, his agility akin to that of a panther as he navigated the labyrinthine corridors beneath the bank's imposing facade. The air seemed heavier than usual, laden with anticipation and the weight of the task at hand. Each step was deliberate, each breath a testament to his resolve. The bag he carried hung limp and ominous against his back, whispering promises of riches yet untouched. In the dimly lit bowels of the bank, time seemed to slow as Felix approached the vault. Its massive steel door loomed before him, a symbol of the wealth and power that had haunted their dreams for so long. He paused, his heart pounding in sync with the echoes of his breaths. A bead of sweat trickled down his forehead, leaving a sinuous trail in the darkness. Meanwhile, Zaven Bagdasaryan continued his nightly patrol, oblivious to the intruder lurking below him. His footsteps were rhythmic and unyielding, a testament to his devotion and integrity. He moved with an air of purpose, checking each corridor, each room, ensuring that everything appeared normal. As Felix reached for the door handle, he could feel the cold metal against his fingers, a tangible reminder of the opportunity before him. With a deep breath, he pulled, the vault groaning in response. The hinges screeched, the sound a discordant symphony in the stillness of the night. Yet, even as the door began to open, Felix's heart froze within his chest. He had underestimated the complexity of the task before him, the weight of his dreams pressing down on him like an unrelenting vice. The vault, it seemed, was not content to relinquish its secrets so easily. In this moment, as the door creaked open and the darkness within beckoned, the tension hung thick in the air. The stage was set for a confrontation between ambition and duty, between a brother's dream and a city's treasure. And unbeknownst to either party, the true nature of their adversary lay hidden, waiting in the shadows. As the first light of dawn broke over Yerevan on August 6th, the city stirred from its slumber, unaware of the events that had unfolded in the dead of night. The cobblestone streets echoed with the distant sounds of life, a subtle rhythm that pulsated through the heart of the ancient city. A gentle breeze carried with it the scent of freshly brewed coffee and bread baking in nearby bakeries, mingling with the cool mountain air. In the quietude of the early morning, Felix Kalachyan struggled beneath the weight of his burden, a bag filled with stolen riches slung over his shoulder. The city, oblivious to his actions, continued its rhythmic hum. His heart pounded in his chest like a drum, each beat echoing the guilt that gnawed at him, threatening to consume him whole. The empty vault, now a gaping chasm in the heart of the state bank, lay dormant, silent as a tomb. Unbeknownst to Felix, Zaven Bagdasaryan, the bank's steadfast security officer, had discovered the crime. His face etched with shock and disbelief, he raised the alarm, setting off a chain reaction that would forever change the lives of those involved. The city, so alive just moments before, seemed to hold its breath as the reality of the situation dawned. The tranquil facade of normalcy began to crack, revealing a world trembling on the edge of chaos and turmoil. As Yerevan grappled with this newfound reality, its heart ached with a silent cry for justice and truth that echoed through the ancient stones. In this moment, as the sun continued its ascent into the cloudless sky, the city served as both witness and detective, its streets bearing silent testament to the unfolding drama. The great heist of Yerevan had begun, its tendrils reaching deep into the lives of those entangled in its web, altering their destinies forever. As the first rays of dawn pierced through Yerevan's slumbering veil, Inspector Armin Petrosyan stood resolute at the state bank's entrance, his gaze fixed on the imposing structure that bore the weight of an unsolved crime. The city was still asleep, its heartbeat slow and steady, oblivious to the turmoil that had unfolded within its walls. Petrosyan, a man of unwavering resolve and undying commitment to justice, took his place in the bank's dimly lit office. Evidence strewn across the desk, he scrutinized each piece with meticulous precision. His eyes fell upon a series of numbers etched on an envelope, a trail leading him inexorably towards Nikolai Kalachyan. The air in the office grew heavy as Petrosyan pieced together the puzzle, his brow furrowing with each revelation. The weight of responsibility bore down upon him, yet he remained steadfast, driven by an unshakable determination to bring the perpetrator to justice. In Nikolai's cramped apartment, tension simmered beneath the surface. He paced nervously, his heart hammering in his chest as he listened to the rhythm of the city outside his window. The walls seemed to close in around him, a suffocating reminder of the life he had built on a foundation of lies and deceit. His brother Felix, consumed by guilt, sat huddled in a corner, a far-off look in his eyes as he grappled with the consequences of his actions. The once indomitable bond between the brothers frayed, leaving Nikolai to wonder if there was any salvaging their relationship. As the city stirred to life, so too did the web of secrets that had ensnared Yerevan. Petrosyan's pursuit of justice collided with Nikolai's desperate bid for survival, and the tension mounted like a storm brewing on the horizon. The question loomed large. Would Nikolai be able to outwit the inspector, or would he succumb to the relentless tide? The emotional turmoil that coursed through Yerevan was palpable, its streets echoing with the whispers of secrets and lies. As the truth began to unravel, it seemed that not only the city but also the very fabric of human nature would be tested. In a city steeped in history and grappling with the complexities of modernity, the heist served as a stark reminder of the choices we make and the consequences that follow. In Yerevan's grand courthouse, the air crackled with anticipation as the trial commenced. A sea of spectators filled the pews, their eyes fixated on the stage where the principal players awaited their fate. Outside, the city held its collective breath, a palpable tension seeping into every cobblestone alley and ancient stone facade. The courtroom itself was a tableau of drama, stern-faced judges presiding from their elevated thrones, defense attorneys meticulously crafting arguments, prosecutors relentlessly presenting evidence with surgical precision. Beneath the veneer of decorum, whispers swirled like ghostly echoes, each word laden with weight and consequence. At the center of this maelstrom stood three men: a bank employee with a heart full of regret, a security officer grappling with loyalty, and a cunning mastermind teetering on the precipice of ruin. Their expressions were masks, concealing the turmoil that churned within, the agonizing choices they had made and the consequences they now faced. As each man took the stand, the courtroom became a battleground where truth and deceit clashed like rival armies. Evidence was presented with methodical precision, arguments countered by cunning rebuttals. In the heart of the storm, Felix, despite his confession, refused to betray his brother or accomplice, his loyalty unyielding even in the face of devastating consequences. The air grew heavy as the verdict approached, each second stretching into an eternity. When the judges finally spoke, their voices echoing through the silent courtroom, it was with a decision that would alter the lives of those entwined within Yerevan's walls forever. As the fate of the three men hung in the balance, so too did the city's desire for justice and truth. The trial had served as a mirror, reflecting back the complex tapestry of ambition, deceit, and the choices that bind us all. In that moment, as the gavel fell, the city seemed to exhale, its heart finally able to find some measure of peace in the tumultuous wake of the heist. In the somber courtyard of the Yerevan criminal court, the sun cast a pale light on the stone edifices, as if shrouded in an eternal twilight. The whispers of the city echoed within the walls, their murmurs amplified by the weight of expectations and uncertainty. As the judge's gavel pounded, silence descended upon the courtroom like a veil, its heavy folds obscuring the truth that had lain dormant for so long. The verdict was read, each sentence resonating through the hushed chamber like a distant thunderclap. Nikolai, Felix, and Zaven, three lives forever entwined by ambition and deceit, now stood at the precipice of their destinies. A sense of disbelief permeated the courtroom, as if the city's very soul had been torn open. The jury's decision hung in the air like a specter, casting a pall over the bustling metropolis beyond the courthouse walls. Yerevan, once a bastion of resilience and determination, now grappled with the consequences of its own past. In the days that followed, the city's streets became a battleground for the clash between justice and morality, as citizens wrestled with their own sense of right and wrong. The heist that had once electrified Yerevan now cast a pall over its once vibrant landscape, a stark reminder of the choices that define our lives. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a crimson hue upon the ancient stones of Yerevan, it seemed as if the city itself bore the weight of guilt and innocence, ambition and redemption, truth and treachery. The great heist had left an indelible mark upon its soul, a scar that would forever be etched into its history. Yet, amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, there remained a glimmer of hope. For even in the darkest of times, it is said, the human spirit finds a way to persevere, to rise above adversity and reclaim its place in the world. And as Yerevan looked towards tomorrow, it did so with a renewed sense of purpose and determination, a testament to the resilience that had carried it through the ages. In the end, the great heist served not just as a tale of crime and justice, but as a reflection of the human condition, a mirror held up to our own desires, ambitions, and choices. It reminded us that while we may strive for wealth and power, true greatness lies in the lessons we learn along the way, the choices we make, and the lives we touch in our pursuit of happiness. And as the sun set on Yerevan, it did so with a quiet dignity, its ancient stones bearing witness to a city's struggle and triumph, its heart beating stronger for having faced the darkness and emerged into the light.